Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Chaos Toy David. I'm gonna be doing some the Stanley Parable here, because I'm gonna go into the weirdness that ensues within this game. Let me make sure I've oh, achievement disabled. Oh look, I got an achievement. Oh look, I got another achievement. Oh look, I got an achievement. I swear, they made this game like completely weird. I need to kind of like change this up a little bit here before we get into full captions. You got it? Alright, let's go. Down strumming. Where's drums coming from? I won't get too much copyright strikes on it to do the music videos.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I probably wouldn't be happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, before we go on, I'm gonna change the Alright, I think that should be better, so we can have a better view of the corners and everything. Let's see here.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
You guys noticed that time was still like 11:25. It just makes me think that the or 11:20, something like that. The time stayed the same. It's just like if hours passed, it would have been like at a different time, or unless it was like 12 hours from then. But oh well, I can't guarantee everything here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I know I can like get on top of this desk. Oh, there we go. Awesome. And I can get out the window here. I'm trying to be careful. Get out the window. Come on. Aha, here we go. Here we go. And I'm just gonna run backwards. Yeah. Oh, I haven't even gotten up. Okay, now I did.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No. No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
That's exactly
Clearly,
what I
this
was
whole
thinking.
gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones.
That is
Though
true.
if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. I guess we can't hit the other option then. Yeah, this is where we have to restart the game. Just our option. Just do exactly what he tells us. And I think whoever made this game is the guys that made this game are complete genius. Even the narrator is a genius himself.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Awesome.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jeez.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You can't jump. That's an achievement. That's a achievement that you can't jump. Alright, we'll just have to go out the window here again. Just to do the other option.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
I forgot to bring my drink.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
I'm very sick of it.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh, serenade.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Is there any more singing? Okay, so I guess he's just gonna keep playing the same. That's fine. That's fine. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now I saw that one of the achievements is saying it says click door 430, 430 5 times.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
But of course.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
It's oh
Now
so
suppose
easy.
you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
20 times, huh? Spam, spam, spam.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Okay, 50. Just gonna tire my mouse.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417, okay. Funny how a narrator breaks the fourth wall. That's another thing I loved about this game.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437, that's over here. To the left.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Do 415. Aha, here we go. Sorry, I'm having to keep readjusting my mouse. Kind of wish I had like a rollerball mouse.
Now, back to door number 437.
Instead of just having just a regular mouse, because I don't have to keep readjusting it every single time. Yep, come on.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Having to readjust again. Here's a coffee machine.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay. I'm just doing what you asked me to do. It's kind of like we're going in a pattern here.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Oh, awesome.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Oh, right ahead.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
I'm loving this. We're almost there. I can feel it.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
Here it comes.
Yeah!
Hey!
We did it!
He did it!
Wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
I'm just doing what I saw on the achievement list. That's all, really. But really, I think you should ask that question to the developers of this game. Those are the guys that you should really question. Let's just continue on with the story, shall we? 2 doors.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know, I think I might as well go through the main story before we do anything else. Because really, I just love how the story can be altered in this game. It's amazing.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Who moved my desk? Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Meeting room. Cabal planning. Group planning. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Rest in peace, Franz. Rip Franz. That's... Number of slides on this slide. That's amazing. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. These have got to be like the best pie charts I've ever seen in my life. Please no more charts, please. Wow. Boss appreciation minute. Circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. That's crazy. What is hot? Profits. If teaching was like this. Oh, wrong way. Broom closet. Oh, moving around. But I said I was going to continue with the main story before I do anything else, before I kind of alter it a little bit.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This is a very lovely office. Could use a bit more remodeling, but I mean, but still, I think I kind of like it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I'm just gonna wait it out.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Alright, 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I'm gonna want to add my own bit to the story. He was able to push those buttons on the keyboard by how the narrator points out in the story, and how he happens to break the fourth wall at the same time. Amazing. It's dark in here. Dark Corner McDougal. Seriously. That was pretty dark. I mean, or I may need to kind of up the brightness. Alright, time to go Half-Life mode again. We're going... Yeah, of course, why we all love it, the game.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
We're going to find the dark secrets.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Now this is dark. We turned out the lights. Let's turn them on.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
You know, this is pretty crazy. It makes me wonder how they could build this kind of building. I mean, it makes me think that the lights down there, either they're suspended from a wall or... Yeah, they are suspended from the wall. Because it makes me think right at the bottom where the lights are coming from is like at the very bottom, like the floor, like where the lights, like I said, where the lights are coming from is the floor, but It's not. It looks like those red lights are going a bit deeper. It kind of looks like it's a bottomless pit. I don't know why. It just kind of reminds me of this time I went to the Science Place Museum a long time ago, back when I was in elementary school. We went into this jumbo theater. It really made me think that we were like spinning up above like a. I have no idea why, but it just I guess it's like a child's mind thing. It made me think we were suspended like above a bottomless pit or something like that. But really, they were just light bulbs that like show the theater and how it projects it onto the screen. It's amazing on how people can really build stuff like that.
Now the monitors jumped to life,
Yeah.
their true
Here's my
nature
number.
revealed.
Right
Each
there.
bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom is everything. Freedom is everything. Once again, sorry I'm having to, go complete circles. Just readjusting the mouse.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible
Fire.
to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Looks like it.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Never.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
There's a big red button. You never press the big red button. Never. It's pretty bizarre here. Giant screen. Oh. Mind controls, idle, waiting input. Pretty fancy here.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
This evil reign of terror shall be put to rest forever. It's quiet.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Was it?
Yes. He had won.
Yes!
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Yay!
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Such a nice place out here. Look at this. Very, very nice. I wonder if this was like a secret door inside the building.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ah, now that is a reason to be happy right there. Truly worth a happy ending. Hey, achievement unlocked, we beat the game. Awesome. Now, we're gonna do things the better way. An even better way.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
I do notice that the doors are closing behind me. Is there a ghost? Surely there is. That door didn't close. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
You know, it would actually be kind of funny to see someone actually write an actual book about how the story was, like, completely altered just like that.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
It is beautiful.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Once again, I forgot my drink. That's okay. I got spare change. I can give me a drink. Give me a drink! Give me my drink!
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Of course it is.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I did. Rebel attitude.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ha! It's because I'm amazing, that's why. Let's see. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. How are we supposed to pay $6,000 if we were to all of a sudden die from the cargo lift? Like so. Oh!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I'm superbly powerful. Always have been, always will be. This is crazy.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Surely. Surely, surely, surely.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, really?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Or just to slip right through it.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Fancy.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I did. Such a rebel.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I forgot to do something.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Very funny.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
Darker.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope, not this time.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Because I'm like the best employee there ever was. The best employee that ever lived. Once again, how do you pay for money if you're dead? Like watch. I'll do it again. Like watch. I'll do it again.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps, but in his eagerness
Now
to
you can't
prove that
pay
he
money.
is in control
Now
of the
can you?
story and no one
You
gets
can't
to
pay
tell him
money
what
if
to
you're
do,
dead.
Stanley left from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah, of course I can. I am powerful because I can do whatever I please. But the only thing I could not do was pay for the damages. See? Phone ringing. Oh, hey, awesome.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.